I look very snazzy right now. What do I have to say, guys? Guys, what do I have to say? You are now tuned in to Slick Speaks. I have to say, guys, it's finally done. All right, the news that everybody wanted to hear, it's finally here, and the news is, guys, Slick Speaks finally has a digital imprint. And digital imprint, I am now on Facebook with my own page. Facebook. And I know Facebook is kind of like old timey, but I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So if you do want to contact me after the show and talk to me about literally anything that I can talk about, either on the show or either with you, we can connect. Be a community. Let's connect with Slick Speaks. And I understand that I had to do a little revamping. That's why, the jazz of my intro was very, very snazzy. Hopefully that you were head bobbing with this whole hopefully you're head bobbing with this whole pandemic going on. I just want to bring a smile and an upbeat lift to this whole pandemic scare that we are currently in right now. So I have to say, go follow Slick Speaks, and for my main man Callaway, you can put the lower third so people can know how to spell it correctly. Follow Slick Speaks. Oh no, you kind of took me off. No, you took me off. Just press the 1. Yeah, Slick Speaks is everywhere, guys. So tune in, Instagram, Facebook. Slick Speaks is everywhere. Now you can take that off, Callaway, and I have to go into my show. Which means, being that our Memorial Day was a lovely Memorial Day, I know a lot of people in South Florida might not think it was a lovely Memorial Day, but it was raining all weekend. And raining deters people from either going places or doing things. And the people that I'm mostly talking about is the people like myself. Like, it was raining all day. What else could I do besides stay dry? Like, I had to pull out rain boots, weird. I kind of look like the man in the yellow hat from the Curious George stories, with just rain, rubber everywhere, just trying to stay dry. So I am glad that everybody mostly spent their Memorial Day either inside, from what I've seen from posts, and either with family, because we don't want a massive amount of people going to the beaches, even though a lot of people did go to the beaches, but I'll get to that later on. But a lot of people did go to the beaches, and I would say being that I am from the tri-state, Broward, West Palm, Miami, I'd like to say thank you guys for being that there was a tropical depression. It was God telling us to stay inside and be with each other more. And not saying that we haven't been with each other for at least 2.5 months, and a lot of us are not mad, but we're not really happy with the people that are in our houses. Or I'm probably speaking to myself. I'm probably speaking to myself. But if you feel like you're on the same page with me, you're seeing the same people, and then you're trying to meet new people, or you're trying to see if you can see or meet new people, or try to see if you can hang out with your friends that you can't really hang out with because you got to have that 6 feet of distance, or you can call them on FaceTime. You kind of get bored of the people that you see on a daily basis around your house. So seeing that what is it? We had one more day to spend with our family, being that it was a long weekend. I don't even know. I have to pause right there because I don't even know what a long weekend is nowadays with this whole situation that we got going on. People can say that they were on a 4-day weekend, but in actuality, I don't think you were on a 4-day weekend. I mean, some of us been on vacation, working from home, and for the ones that are not working from home, like myself, I have to go to work and but be distanced from other people. But some of us been on vacation for a while, so I have to say, like, what is a long weekend? Are we praying for those like workful weeks after this whole pandemic or this whole situation that we got going on? I just like I just have to say, like, this Memorial Day was very calm, peaceful, and like I got a lot of what is it? I got a lot of stuff done from like my digital imprint, so make sure you follow that. And I would say the only bad part that happened in Florida. No, there's several different bad things that happen in like Florida. Not saying that I like to talk about Florida, but being that I'm here, like, there's like only several things that happened that were bad, that weren't like very enlightening, because a lot of people were like enjoying their holiday weekend, as they say. Nobody hates Mondays for some reason now, because we've been on a pandemic. Who hates Mondays? We just hate the fact that we can't, like, reach out and touch whoever we wanted to. Not like that, but like just reach out and try to touch new friends, or like actually converse with people as we should. But one thing that kind of like stopped over this weekend, SpaceX, Mr. Elon Musk and his crew of SpaceXianers, or Space Team X or SpaceX, whatever we want to call them. They had to postpone their pre-orbital trip to space because of the torrential downpours. Basically, they were supposed to launch they were supposed to launch Friday. Now they postponed everything until Wednesday. Hopefully, they say, it is a nice day around. It would be nice around the afternoon for them to launch, because they're planning a launch at 4:33. And if Wednesday doesn't work out, Saturday will be the day for SpaceX to actually go into the moon. Elon Musk is going to do it, guys. But that's just on a light note. I'm like something that I felt like the rain was a good thing, but some people want to point out it's a bad thing. But the rain did bring out, unfortunately, it did bring out I just don't know how to come by it, because like the rain did bring out, like, it did bring out a lot of stuff that we need to like reflect on and work on, and basically just chill and relax on. But most people should have got rain, like Volusia County. This is the second charge or second offense. I'm glad my county, Broward County, hasn't been acting up, because they've been acting up since this whole pandemic. And for some odd reason, being that I am a self-elected spokesman of Broward County, I would like to say, like, being that we were kind of like in some turmoil because people weren't listening, but now we are listening and we are being like good adults about the situation of the pandemic. Volusia County is kind of getting this infectious disease to say, yeah, we're just going to do what we want to do because that's what we do. Not saying that I heard that from somebody, but like, it's just like from their actions speak louder than their words. And being that they had a massive block party the other week ago that got shut down and 8 people got arrested, it was around 3,000 people got out in remembrance of somebody that died. I understand that you come out for remembrance of when somebody dies, like if lo and behold, if something happens to me, like, people come out. But during the pandemic, guys, 3,000 people not wearing masks, not following the rules and restrictions, actually trying to infect one another, because I'm pretty sure they were probably family members. Like, they trying to like figure out like what's going on, or like trying to figure out the whole essence of what has transpired, and trying to show remembrance to the person that they're going out for. The way that they gathered was just all wrong. Too tight, no mask, and they figured out they could have got away with it. But being that there's a lot of people in this pandemic that we need to look out for, we don't need an infectious crowd like that. So, Volusia County, once again, topped their block party. I don't know how you could top a like 3,000 block party, but this is not like a laughing matter. But they topped their block party by having, it wasn't a fatal shooting, but it was around Daytona Beach, where it's Memorial Day. A lot of people want to go out to the, what is it? A lot of people want to go out to the beach. A lot of people want to go out to like either do recreational things outside because it's Memorial Day. They feel like it's an off day. They should do something about it, or they should do something for it. But this Daytona shooting left six wounded on a Saturday evening that were celebrating this whole Memorial weekend. And I don't understand, why would you bring out a gun in this whole situation and start shooting in a crowd? But that's what literally happened. A guy just came, pulled out a gun, and just started shooting up the whole situation. Luckily, I didn't hear any deaths that went on, but I just heard like 6 wounded in Volusia County. But Volusia County, Orlando area, Daytona area, that whole Tampa to Orlando region, I feel like you guys should calm down. You should take notes from Broward, West Palm, and Miami, and figure out ways to do things that don't involve you getting in the limelight. I understand that the spotlight is good, but you're in the spotlight for a different reason. You should be in the spotlight for, like, Disney World opening up like 20% because they're letting people in, and people are being, like, checked with thermometers and whatnot. But I actually don't know if the theme parks are open, but I'm just saying, but we should like change Volusia County. You should change the script, because you don't want to be known as the person that, or like the arrogant crowd. No, not like the adolescent child that just doesn't want to listen to say, hey, we're bigger than this pandemic. Nobody is invincible. Nobody is the Incredible Hulk. Nobody has superpowers to get rid of this whole thing. I know there's a lot of people that's been beating it, but it's from the help of our healthcare workers that actually take time out of their day to say, hey, we have to figure out ways to get over this hump so we can stay cautious and just blatantly just be cautious throughout this whole pandemic. But a lot of people feel like, they are the invincible man. They are the Iron Man. They feel, they'll figure out ways to, solve the problem by trying to be the problem, because they feel like this is just a pandemic off of just people just saying stuff. I don't understand if the numbers are there, guys. Why would you deny the facts? The facts are just the facts. To be honest, you can't blur the facts unless like the facts weren't actually factual. That means that they will be false. So there's no need for you to say, hey, I'm Iron Man today. Let me just do what a superhero does and say I don't want to wear a mask today. Or let me break this 6 feet of distance because I feel like I need to be as close to you as possible. And if you are that type of person that would come up to me, I will not try to situate myself with you. I wouldn't want to be next to you. I wouldn't want to try to come around that type of energy. Being around that type of energy, you'll probably like mimic that type of energy, and you'll probably get something. And me being asthmatic and having all these medical complications, I do not want to complicate my body. So why would you put somebody in the threat, a mother, son, father, in a threat to actually get hurt in this whole situation that we have going on with this pandemic? So Volusia County, I'm talking about the Tampa area, I'm talking about the Daytona area, I'm talking about all the places in Florida that feel like they're invincible. You guys are not invincible, okay? COVID-19 is real. even though that we are in the green, okay? And some people feel like the numbers are wrong. We need to double check the numbers, but we are in the green. So we have to figure out ways to actually get through this. If we're not going to get through this, guys, we're just going to jump ship. We're going to jump ship while we're in green, being that, you know, we could be like a New York. We could be like the Northeast. We could be locked in. But we're in phase 1. We got over the first hump. We just need to get over the second hump. If there's a third hump, we'll get over that hump. Because, you know, we're Floridians. We'll get through it. Or I can't call myself Floridian, but I'm an import. But I'm an import for now. But, guys, we hit one. What is it? Doing the invincible stupid thing is not the correct way. All right? And moving on. This story reached to me. This past Friday. It was President Biden. I don't like to get very political, but it was basically President Biden. I really don't like getting political because for some reason, like, people want you to choose a side, but I'm like, I'm always gonna choose the better person. So it's kind of like I will act accordingly to what you present to me. So President Biden went on basically on a Zoom call with Charlemagne the God. Everybody should know them. If you don't know him, he's from Power 106. Yeah, Power 106, The Breakfast Club. Everybody knows The Breakfast Club. And Breakfast Club brings the hottest topic, the most dangerous talk show. Because they bring up the questions that, like, I'm not saying people wanted to ask, but they're like in a large room. They wouldn't ask if that person was face to face, but the Breakfast Club does ask it. The Breakfast Club asks to touch these questions, and throughout this whole election year and this pandemic, and the fact that Joe Biden is winning like majority of the southern states, and the southern states on the East Coast, majority of them. And he is kind of like the front runner on popularity, but on the popular side, he does have kind of like a popularity. Joe Biden does, and he came on a Zoom call with Charlemagne the God, and basically throughout this whole interview, you can look it up. I wish I had a link to the transcript, or like I wish I had a link to like the YouTube that had the whole audio, but I basically listened to the whole audio. And he basically, but you could just Google it. Joe Biden, Charlemagne the God. But basically the whole interview was just Charlemagne asking for the urban community, which means my black, brown, Hispanic, Asian, everybody that is in that urban community that does need that help from their politician, that's been missing that help from their politician. He's been he was actually the word to the communities that kind of lost faith in politicians. But he was mostly given touchy questions, and twice during this interview, Mr. Joe Biden's representative had to stop the whole situation and said, we're kind of losing signal. We might need you to hop off. It was kind of sketchy to me because like the questions that Charlemagne was asking was like basic questions that anybody could ask. And I'm not saying this trying to say that I'm a big Charlemagne the God fan. I'm not like a big Charlemagne the God fan, but he does ask the questions that need to be heard, especially through politicians that may be doing the right thing or maybe doing the wrong thing, but he does ask the correct questions, and they're the most dangerous talk show. So it's kind of like the fact that he was bringing these up, it was leaving Mr. Joe Biden very uncomfortable, to the point that he stated out, I wish I had the soundbite, but basically through his soundbite or through the way that he was saying it. I think he's from North Carolina, but through the way that he was saying it, he's like, you're not black if sorry guys, this is on the spot. But he's basically was saying you're not you're not black if you don't if oh what is it if you're voting for Trump. But I had that kind of left me shook because it's kind of like him saying that he already has the black vote, that he already has the people that he needs. But how do you know you have the people that you need? Spitting like the testimonies that you're spitting and like the whole situation. In fact, not saying that I'm attacking Mr. Joe Biden. Good luck on your campaign. Hopefully you do reach what you need to reach. But I would just like to point out, Mr. Joe Biden, who says that you're like the speaker for the urban community? You were Mr. Vice President to Barack Obama. So that doesn't give you, let's stop it. That doesn't give you, it doesn't give you that, what is it? It doesn't give you that initial like pass to say, hey, it's Joe Biden. Excuse me. You have to state your case at the door. Don't say that you feel as though that because, you know, you were with such and such and he goes on and says to Charlemagne the God, check his facts. He didn't say facts though, guys. He said check my records. All my records are okay. I've been helping out the urban community. He probably has, guys. But for somebody to be like helping out the community, I don't mind people helping out the community, the urban community. What is it I grew up in? So it's kind of like, guys, it's kind of like Joe Biden. You don't have to tell about your explorations with the urban community. You doing this and you doing that. It's kind of like what people do nowadays that I kind of don't know. Not I kind of, but I don't support. Like when they do go say that they're feeding the hungry, they post it on live feed so other people can see how such of a good person that they are, to put it on live feed to say, yeah, you know, you got to help out the community. But I feel like if you were made to help out the community, you shouldn't actually broadcast it in a way to like in an arrogant. Not saying that he said it in an arrogant way. You can go back and listen to the interview. He didn't say it in an arrogant way, but it's kind of like his the way that he came off was like, okay, you did that. You said that you did that. You always fought for these, and you were behind on President Obama, but you just can't feel like you have that free pass card, being that you were on the president's ticket and you were vice president. That doesn't mean that you will be a great leader. Get what I'm saying? We already have like a leader right now, which everybody said it was impossible for him to reach the White House, but unanimously this man wins significantly, being that he's in the same situation that Hillary Clinton's on with the popular vote, because on the popular vote everybody likes Biden, but until the votes are counted, who knows? And from like quotes and interviews like this that you would want to cut off, basically quotes or questions that you want to cut off or you don't want to talk about, it doesn't look right in the urban communities you say that you help, Mr. Biden. Trust me, because I had to rewind, cut it, figure out what you're saying and say, hey, are you really for it, or you just want the accolades just to get into the office or the proper positions to do what you need to do? I don't know your hidden agenda. Everybody has a hidden agenda. What makes you think that Joe Biden doesn't? But let's not get political. I don't like to get political. It doesn't. I really don't. I really don't. But I had to bring this up because he disturbed my Breakfast Club. being that he had this sound bite that I had to hear, and I'm like, really, Joe Biden? How do you know that you're gonna get this whole ticket, being that you were a part of Obama's campaign? But that's all I have to say, guys. And once again, it's Slick here. You have to be cautious during this pandemic. Okay, we are not invincibles. We have to stay calm, be lightheaded. No, be lightheaded. Why would you be light? Be focused. Be focus driven. We got over this hump. We're in phase 1, guys. So please stay cautious out here. And Memorial Day was a wash up, but come on. We needed this wash up, guys. And to be honest with you, it was kind of like the Memorial Day for this decade that we needed to start off with. Okay? And for Slick here, you can follow me everywhere. Not everywhere, but just on Facebook and Instagram at Slick Speaks. And until next time, guys, Thursday, I should have a little treat with you, because I do have an interview that it's been taking too long, but I'm going to make sure that I get it done and have it out to you guys. And for me, Gene, Slick here, have a great rest of your day, and see you next time. Yeah.